anyone can hire a logistics company, but what makes that better? It's the people. People sell to people. Business isn't posting or engaging. Like, are they still in business? The shorter the video and the more raw it is, essentially the better it does.
Marketing, like a symphony, is a harmonious blend of instruments, but without the proper direction, it's just noise. Welcome to the Supply Chain Marketing Show, presented by Supply Chain Brain Media. From the art of storytelling to the science of data, we'll uncover marketing strategies that drive success. Want to know how to actually get noticed by 85% of supply chain buyers who vet companies online before they ever sign a contract? You'll want to hear what Helen Cheskia, Web Marketing Manager at Wordjack Media, has to say. You'll also hear why it's important to change your LinkedIn strategy from a digital trophy case to real-world stories that can build trust. Now, here's your Supply Chain Marketing Show host, guide, and captain of content, Ralph Henderson.
Welcome to the Supply Chain Marketing Show, sponsored and distributed by Supply Chain Brain Media, the home for supply chain leaders and marketing professionals who understand that great operations deserve great storytelling. Hi, I'm Ralph Henderson, your host. This show exists to help supply chain marketing professionals turn expertise into influence, visibility into trust, and content into real business growth. Because let's be honest, in today's supply chain industry, being the best solution provider isn't enough if no one understands your story. Here we go beyond the surface level marketing talk. We get into the weeds. This is a peer-to-peer discussion. We're going to challenge assumptions, and we're going to explore how branding, lead generation, content development, and digital strategy are shaping how supply chain companies are being discovered, vetted, and ultimately chosen. If you're responsible for positioning your organization as a trusted partner, whether you sit in marketing, communications, leadership, or business development, you're in the right place. And remember, this is just one of many programs to elevate you in your industry. You can discover a whole lot more at supplychainbrainmedia.com/the show. Today's episode, stop tagging like it's 2018. Why your supply chain social strategy is ghosting your customers. Here's the reality. If you're still using hashtags and old post type protocols, you're not expanding your reach. You're triggering spam filters. Hashtags aren't megaphones, they're filing cabinets. This episode is a wake-up call for logistics and supply chain marketers ready to move beyond the digital trophy cases and outdated posting habits. We're going to talk about modern algorithms, how they now reward authentic human conversation, how employee voices outperform corporate announcements, and why 85% of supply chain buyers research vendors online before contact ever begins. You'll walk away with practical strategies you can apply immediately. Turning your LinkedIn presence into a digital newsroom, activating employee advocacy with real boots on the ground storytelling, and mastering the rule of three so your hashtags work for you and not against you. Joining us today is Helen Cheskia, Web Marketing Manager at Wordjack Media. With more than 2 decades spanning the evolution from print marketing to today's fast-moving digital landscape, Helen combines creative storytelling with data-driven strategy to help companies transform social media engagement into measurable growth. Known for her collaborative energy and sharp understanding of the changing algorithms, she specializes in helping organizations turn online attention into lasting business relationships. So, whether you're generating leads, building brand trust, creating content that actually gets noticed, or just trying to make a sense of what social media looks like in supply chain today, this conversation matters. Let's get started. Hi, Helen. What an honor it is to have you on the show today.
Hi, Ralph. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Look, we're going to dive in. We're going to get deep, and I appreciate you and your contribution to today's show. First thing I want to bring up is, we said that broadcasting is dead and high volume hashtagging is now a low quality signal. If the old way of getting reach is gone, how do we actually get the algorithm to show our content to the right people this year?
Well, it's quite simple, actually. So you reach your audience through your captions. And in the audio of the videos. Social media outlets basically use AI to scan posts and videos and essentially read the captions and listen to the audio to determine where the algorithm, your content belongs. They use what's called natural language processing, or NLPs. You can further this with 2 or 3 hashtags to sort of categorize the content. Think of it like a filing cabinet. So instead of using hashtags to get seen on the algorithm, you're using hashtags to be more specific and categorize where this content is using specific terms in your captions as well as the hashtags. So you get the reading you're looking for.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. So the NLP thing, tell me a little bit more about that, because remember, 3 or 4 decades ago, NLP was neuro-linguistics programming. And I find it interesting now that we're talking about it in social media, but it's more about the language, and it's the language of what we say in print and in video.
Yeah, so it's natural language processing it's what the AI uses to kind of see where this content has to go. So before, we used to use hashtags if we were talking about supply chain thing, hashtag supply chain, hashtag logistics. But now you would just talk about that if it's a static post in the caption. So you would talk about the post as if it's showing modern supply chain industry things, or if it's in the video, it recognizes that natural language. So it makes the content way more, for lack of a better word, natural, and further pushes that actual social feel, rather than having everything end in 50 hashtags to categorize it. So it's just sort of the way the AI categorizes it. It actually reads it. So it knows that this post is about supply chain industry and this post is about specific retail.
Right. So the genius, and I love this, Helen, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention, because the genius now is creating what we need to say and make it pleasing and attractive to our audience, while keeping in mind that the AI is reading it and categorizing it. But I think what you're saying is keep the main thing, and that is what you want to say, right? And who you want to say it to. Let the AI do its job, but keep human in how you're actually displaying or creating that.
Yeah, exactly. It takes the guesswork out of the social media. It actually makes it a lot easier. You just write the captions using basic writing principles like who, what, where, when, and keyword terms in the writing that AI will grasp onto. But it still keeps the captions interesting to the reader. So it's essentially just don't overthink it or over hashtag it.
Yeah. No, I like that. And man, oh man, you talk about, kind of full circle or whatever, the don't overthinking, and don't do too much of it. Because look, at the end of the day, the AI is like your mom watching the video. It's going to listen to everything, right? So you don't have, in the past, we would have to worry about what it is we were putting out there because we didn't know if somebody was going to read it or see it or hear it, where AI is not going to miss it. So is there something you might want to give the supply chain audience as far as what they might want to do to kind of satisfy both the human reader and the AI algorithm that might be beneficial to them?
Well, you want to keep the captions interesting or the video interesting, but you want to ensure you get those keyword terms into it. So when I say keyword terms, I mean, think about what message you want that particular post to convey, and make sure that the main message or the main key point is mentioned in the caption or is mentioned in the video. For videos, you can also further it with a caption as well. And it creates a more natural caption for what you're putting out there. And then you can further it, like I said, with like a couple of hashtags. You want to kind of think of like the rule of three. 3 hashtags is a great way to categorize a post, a video, to just further target that audience that you want to see it.
Right. And the other thing I heard you say there, Helen, is don't bury the lead. And I know when I say that to people, they smile or what have you, but it's true. I mean, so many times as somebody who's been in this space for 35 years and has been in marketing and media of some way, for the better part of that, I find it very often we're trying to get the reader and or the listener to do the work of waiting until the important thing we have to say. When reality is we should just hit them with it between the eyes, right in the offset. And now that I've heard you say AI is listening and reading it as well, they're going to know how important it is if I put it in the lead. So that might be another kind of encouragement for our audience to make sure that they do that. So look, a lot of people in the supply chain space still use LinkedIn, kind of as these digital trophy cases for press releases and earned media and things like that. And look, we understand that you have to do something in the way of that communication, and we're not telling you to not do any of it, but it's starting to get not noticed. And so people are now using LinkedIn as a vetting hub. So what would you tell people, for what they should be doing as it relates to press releases and things like that, and LinkedIn, and having people notice who they are and ultimately, reaching out to them for a solution?
Well, you want to think of social media, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn, as a place to engage. You don't want it to be essentially, like you said, the trophy case. Everyone can see the awards that you've won. It's up on your website. It's press releases. You want the social platform to kind of be more personable to you. Like, think about yourself. When you hear about a new company or a person even, what's the first place you go to learn about them? The internet. You check their website, obviously, but you also check their social media. Whether it's a person or a business, you want to learn about them, and social media is the best way. Like, as we've said, 85% of B2B decision makers now vet vendors on LinkedIn before an RFP even begins. You need to make your company stand out, and every company has won awards. Every company. So to make yourself stand out from the competition, it's the people in your company. Like, anyone can hire a logistics company, but what makes that better? It's the people. So you want to showcase that. You want to humanize your company. You want to share videos from the warehouse. You want to share team pictures, team videos, real boots on the ground footage from your logistics manager. People sell to people. So if all you're sharing on your LinkedIn is the awards that you've won, you're not sharing really anything about your company. You're just broadcasting.
We'll be back after this brief message.
In today's complex supply chain, marketing has never been more critical. But are you leveraging the full potential of your marketing efforts? Supply Chain Brain Media created 2 resources to help you discover what's new and what works. The Supply Chain Marketing Group series is designed to educate you on services and how to implement them into your marketing program. On the Supply Chain Marketing Show, hear firsthand how experts are implementing the elements from the 5 rings of supply chain marketing to drive results. Ready to elevate your marketing game? Schedule a 30-minute consult today. Email Morgan at supplychainbrainmedia.com. Supply Chain Brain Media, your guide to marketing success.
And now back to our show.
Yeah, okay, now I have chills, because now this is what everybody watching and listening to this needs to hear and see loud and clear. Your people need to be a part of your social media engagement. And what Helen is saying, and I hear this all the time, what's the most important thing about your company? Our people. Well, prove it. And the way you do that is get them out there. Let people see who they are, whether they're on the floor, an admin, part of the project management team, whatever it is, let whoever it is that's vetting, the 85% of the companies who's vetting you before they ever reach out to you, see who those folks are that you claim to be the most important piece of your business. So having said that, how can we encourage the different people in the company, the leaders? Because I know the marketing people know this, and I know they want us to help them encourage the other folks. What's a good way for us to encourage the leaders in these companies and the other people in the company to understand how important this is for the message to get out for the company?
That's typically the hardest part of this is getting people involved. But honestly, just don't overthink it. So you can get, like, whenever a manager is going to walk the warehouse, get them to take a quick 30-second video of their walkthrough. That's literally all they have to do. Everyone has a smartphone these days. Everyone has a camera on it. Just record walking through. It doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't even have to have talking. You don't even have to worry about sound on it. Just record going through the warehouse, have someone say hi or anything like that. Like, sports teams are doing a really good job of things like this, getting people involved in their social media, humanizing their brand. So just get someone on the floor videoing anything. It can be just 30 seconds. You don't want it to be longer than a minute. And social media doesn't have to be scripted, like I said, or heavily edited. Actually, it's better if it's not. Getting the footage isn't all that time consuming. Honestly, it's the back end stuff that the marketing team is going to be doing anyways that takes the most amount of time. So just getting video footage, photos.
Well, and, again, as you know, in the supply chain industry, we're very trade show heavy. So one of the things that was coming to my mind, right? I mean, how easy is that? Now you've got, your engineers, you've got your, operations people, you've got your leadership, they're all parts of these shows. It doesn't always have to be a quote commercial, you're just humanizing this thing, right? You're just showing the people who they are. So what advice would you give people, to encourage them to A, do it, and then B, obviously be a part of it?
So another part that you can do is just involve them, share the results from their video. Show oh, your video got 100 views. That's great. Share that. And people like to see I helped get that. I helped get that view, or I'm in that, or because they'll share it as well. Be like, oh, I took this video, or I'm in this video. You'd be surprised at how much people would get involved, or just to be a person in the shop.
Yeah, no, I love that. And the thing I love about it, and maybe you can touch on this a little bit just from a media perspective as it relates to social, is we do these shows and we're, very, very much into them from an investment perspective and an effort perspective. But then the show's over and, we move on. And, social media and what you're talking about might be a cool way to kind of concatenate or, connect show to show to show. So now I just did a big show and I'm done with that show, but I've got these videos or I've got these people from the organization. And maybe what I do between now and the next show is advertise or enhance or promote what we did there? I mean, what kind of maybe advice or thoughts would you have for people to do things throughout the year versus, just at the tour of the distribution center or just at the trade show, but more as an ongoing basis?
Well, consistency is key. That's the key to success on social media. So it doesn't have to be like trade shows are great. It gives you a lot of content to work with. You don't have to post it all when you're at that show. You can use footage from before and post it later on as like a recap or a look back, or you have another show coming up. Look at how much fun we had at this show. Trade shows will give you so much content to work with. And you want to build excitement. You want to build excitement for the show that you were just at, build excitement for the next show. When it's an off time from trade shows, you can do look backs. When you do like boots on the ground video footage or even pictures, just hang on to the content. Everything doesn't have to get posted immediately. You can hang on to things to post later on. You can do like year end is great for recaps of the year following. You can take like 5 seconds from multiple different things, put it together. And you can use AI as well to kind of give you ideas on how to use footage. Like say you have just raw footage of a warehouse. You can ask AI, like, give me some ideas for posts to do with this. And it'll give you ideas. Like there's so many tools out there that you can use to help build up your profiles, help keep consistent posting on your profiles. It's all out there at your fingertips to use.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pull the curtain back a little bit on some of the things I use with AI. I call it the FOMO promo campaign, right? So what we do is before the show, you create the fear of missing out. Like you got to be a part of this. You got to come see us. You got to, be engaged and what have you. And so people are like, oh, I got to do this. And then once it's over, then you create a promo campaign where you promote what you did, right? And if you do that, eventually the FOMOs connect to the promos. And so ChatGPT loves that. It gives me a lot of encouragement as far as that goes. So here's a more kind of pinpointed question. So if we describe social media as the digital nervous system of the industry rather than a luxury, because it really is now. So for the skeptics that are still in the room, what happens to the supply chain solution providers that are hesitant to transition from broadcasting to these precision signals, if you will?
Honestly, you got to think of social media kind of just like society. Like if you aren't out and about in society, engaging, interacting with people, how does anyone know that you're there? If you aren't on social media, engaging and posting, not just broadcasting things, but actually like engaging. And that means a give and take. You're not just telling people news, you're also listening to their news and engaging in it, commenting on things, sharing things. That is how you get yourself out there, you get your business out there. And it's also how you can keep up to date on things. So social media is where news breaks first, like port congestion, labor shortages. Those are on social media platforms before the mainstream media. And if you aren't engaging on social media, if you aren't seeing that, your competitors are. So it's a great way to know what's up way before anyone else. And people will see you on there, see you engaging. So it's so important to not only be on social media, but engaging, like I've said. And you want to be consistent on it. If someone isn't posting or a business isn't posting or engaging, like, are they still in business? It kind of is like a red flag. If they don't have anything on their profiles, they're not engaging in anything. It kind of suggests that maybe they're struggling, maybe they're not even in business anymore. Think of it like a friendship or a relationship. You create better relationships when you not only share news, but you listen to other people's news as well. You engage, you're consistently online posting things. If someone hasn't posted something in 3 months, where have they been?
Yeah, no, that's so true. I have something I've been saying for a long time in the industry. It's not what you know. We are in an industry of very intelligent, educated people. It's not even who you know because we're all finite. And you can only know so many people. So it's really not what you know or who you know, it's who knows you. And social media has given us a really great, powerful way for people to know who we are. But to your point, we have to engage. We have to make the effort. We have to do the lift of making sure. So before I let you go, the last thing I'd like to ask you is, based on all that we've talked about today, what is it the audience can remember from this conversation? And then what is it that you would want them to do as a result of that?
Honestly, just be online, be present on social media, make sure you're posting consistently, make sure you're engaging. And at the end of the day, don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be a big, huge production or a scripted content. Honestly, the shorter the video and the more raw it is, essentially the better it does. And it humanizes you and it creates that relationship, that bond. And it's how you're going to win business.
Yeah, I love that. I think of the acronym CAR. So consistent action to create relationships, right? CAR. So for everybody listening, and thank you, Helen. This has been really great. We appreciate you. We want to make sure that you're doing this. Please reach out to us. Let us know what you thought. Give us your take, your ideas, suggestions. But certainly if you need to get a hold of Helen because she is somebody who can help you tremendously, we'll give you that information as we're promoting the Supply Chain Marketing Show. And until the next time, folks, we appreciate you and may your next 12 months be your best year ever.
Schedule a 30-minute consultative session to discover how you can blend your marketing instruments into a harmonious sound and rise above the noise. Email Morgan at supplychainbrainmedia.com to secure your free 30-minute session. If you have any questions or suggestions, email them to Morgan at supplychainbrainmedia.com. For more supply chain news, insights, and education, check out and bookmark supplychainbrain.com. This has been an Omnichannel production in conjunction with PW Earhart Media.